ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु। तदात्मनि निरते यौपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओमित्येतदक्षरमुद्गीतमुपासीत ओमिति ह्युद्गायते तस्योपव्याख्यानम्। Page 330. यो वै भूमा तत्सुखम् नाते सुखमस्ते भूमैव सुखम् भूमात्वे विजिज्ञासितव्य इति। भूमानं भगवो विजिज्ञासे इति। यत्र नान्यत् पश्यति नान्यत् शृणोति नान्यद् विजानाति स भूमा। अथ यत्र अन्यत् पश्यति अन्यत् शृणोति अन्यद् विजानाति तदल्पं यो वै भूमा तदमृतम् अथेदल्पं तन्मर्त्यं स भगवः कस्मिन् प्रतिष्ठित इति स्वे महिम्नि यदि वा न महिम्नीति। यो वै भूमा तत्सुखं भूमा महत् निर्दिशयं बहुविधि पर्यायाः। So Bhuma Vasakara says means Mahat, which is great or big, large, or Nirdisham, unsurpassable, Bahu, abundant, much, plenty. Tat Sukham. So that which is unsurpassable, which is plenty, which is abundant, which is big, which is great, that is Sukham, which is infinite. That is Sukham, that is happiness. So infinite means happiness. So equation is given here. Yoi bhuma tat sukham. So sukham is not the name of something, not an attribute of something, not an experience of something. It is bhuman, that is sukham. The infinite is happiness. So true happiness is infinite is a true happiness. If anything else is called happiness or means of happiness, it is a notion, not a reality. Narpe sukhamasti, also very clear. In alpam, which is finite, na sukhamasti, there is no happiness in that which is finite. Bhuma eva sukham. Again, so confirming bhuma eva sukham, concluding bhuma indeed alone is sukham, nothing else. Alpa is not sukham, bhuma, the limitless, alone is sukham, happiness. Bhuma atveva vijignasadavya iti. So one should seek to know bhuma. Bhuma bhavo vijignyasa iti. O Venerable Sir, I seek to know bhuma. What is bhuma? So kim lakshanaso bhuma iti. What's the lakshana? What is the inherent characteristic of bhuma? Yatra nanyat pashyati, nanyat shrunoti, nanyat vijanati, sa bhuma. That in which one does not see anything other, one does not hear the other, one does not know the other. Sabhuma, that is bhuma, that is infinite, meaning the non-dual is infinite or limitless. So what is limitless? That also is defined. The non-dual is limitless. What is happiness? Limitless is happiness. What is limitless? The non-dual is limitless. What is non-dual? The self is non-dual. Yatra anyat pashyati, anyat shrunoti, anyat vijanati tadalpam. On the other hand, where one sees the other, hears the other, knows the other, in seeing where there is otherness, in hearing where there is otherness, in knowing where there is otherness, meaning where there is otherness, where there is duality, tadalpam, that is limited, that is finite. Yo vai bhuma tadamrutam. That which is bhuma is immortal. Alpam tanmartyam, and that which is limited or finite is martyam, is mortal, is limited. So this is how the lakshana, the characteristic of bhuma is given here. Shaitanigi says, Bhumna savisheshatvam nirvisheshatvam vayati prashnapurukam nirvisheshatvam nirdharayati. Question is, this Bhuma, the infinite or limitless, is it savishesha? Is it possessed of some attribute? Nirvishesha, or does it transcend all the attributes? Is it prashnapurukam? As preceded by that question. Nirvisheshatvam nirdharayati. Then the Shruti ascertains that Bhuma is nirvishesham, or it is attributeless. Without attributes, without qualities, without form, name, that's what Bhuma is. Whereas the other Tikakara says, Bhuma Shabdasya Uktaritya Bahutvarthakatvat Tasya cha Sukhatva Abhavat. We saw this, that Uktaritya Bahor Lopaha Bhucha Baho Idya etc. By that, Bahutvam Bhuma Shabdartha. Bhuman means Bahu or abundant. Bhutvarthakatvat Tasya cha Sukhatva Abhavat. But abundant doesn't mean happiness. Tentatively. Parichinnattvena alpatvat. Even if it's bahu or abundant, still it is limited. Therefore, it is limited. So, katham trishnavi yata sambhava iti. Bhashyakara said, alpasya adhika trishna hetutvat alpe sukham nasti. So that which is alpam or limited, finite, adhika trishna hetutvat, anything finite, the experience of anything finite results into a desire for a further experience, always. Attainment of anything finite also creates desire for attainment of more. I get some money, I always want more. I have some power, always want more. Some name and fame, always want more. Some following, always want more. So everything that is limited. Meaning that whenever I look upon anything limited as a means of happiness, then that results into creating only a further desire, a further craving. Meaning that even though there may be experience of happiness in something limited, meaning that I, earn some money and therefore I am happy at that time. In that happiness, the seed for Trishna is contained, that's the idea. So, nahi dukkha bijam. In that happiness, there is the potential of Trishna. In experience of any limited thing, any experience of happiness, there is always the bijam, the seed, the potential of Trishna or craving. Because that limited happiness is going to leave me only dissatisfied. And for satisfaction, I always want more. So no experience can ever give us any kind of a sustained happiness. It can be a spike, a spike meaning at some extent. Then, again, it leaves you again down, high and leaves you low. Therefore, it's interesting, it's very worth observing. In any experience of happiness that I have, there is always the bijam, the seed of Trishna or further desire. So, nahi dukkha bijam. So, even though it is happiness, Bhashyakara, it cannot be called happiness. Nahi dukkha bijam sukham drishtum jvaradi loke. So, wherever dukkha bija is there, Trishna is dukkha bijam. Trishna is the cause of pain or sorrow. So, wherever sorrow is contained, how can that be called happiness? So, it is like food in which poison is mixed. Even though it may be very delicious and sweet, still, because it contains poison, it cannot be called, healthy. Similarly, even in any experience of happiness, because there is a potential of further desire, and there is Trishna, which means unhappiness. Therefore, the so-called happiness cannot be called happiness because it contains the seed of unhappiness. It is mixed with unhappiness. Tasmad yuktam nalpe sukhamasti. Therefore, it is quite well said, alpe sukham nasti, there is no happiness in anything that is finite. Ata bhuma eva sukham, therefore, bhuma, the infinite alone is sukham. Trishna, the dukkha bijatva sambhavad bhumnaha, because in that infinite or limitless, there is a total satisfaction. With no seed, for it all desires are satisfied. Yalabdhva chaparam labham manyate nadikam tatha. Gaining which one knows that there is nothing greater to gain. So as you said yesterday, bhutavat chandavachana bhuma shabdena, even the word bhuma means bahutvam, abundance, which does not seem to convey the idea of happiness. The word abundant, plenty, does not convey the idea of happiness, but alpatva nivritti lakshanaya bhuma shabdena. So by the shabda bhuma means alpatva nivritti. Bhuman is that which is free from alpatvam. So by vachyartha, bhuma means that which is great or plenty or abundant. But by lakshana vritti, bhuma means that which is free from alpatvam, free from limitedness. Trivida paricheda vastu rahita vastuna abhidanat. So that way bhuma becomes a name or equivalent of trivida paricheda rahita vastu. Vastu, the reality which devoid of the threefold limitations of time, place and attributes. No purokta dosha avakasha iti. Therefore, that bhuma is limited. Therefore, there is dukkha bijam. Therefore, how can it be sukham? That doubt does not have a scope here. Yatra iti. But again, as the Tikakara continues in the line 28, Athva bhuma vai hita yavai vacho, that also we saw yesterday, adikyarthatva darshanat adikyasya cha sankochaka bhave. From somewhere this quotation is there, bhuma vai hita yavai vacho bhuma tasya nyarbudam ityado. So I don't know about hita, if I mean hita nadya, then it means 72,000. And Nyarbudam means what? 10 crores. Ityadav. So, therefore Bhuma means 10 crores. So what Bhuma is used in that sense. That's what that quotation seems to say. Ityadav Bhuma Shabdasya Adhikyarthakatva Darshanat. What it means, what is meant is that it is not 10 crore. It is great. It is infinite. That's all. Adikyasya. So Sahasra Shirasha Purusha. Sahasra doesn't mean thousand. It means infinite, countless. So Adikyar Tattva Darshanat Adikyasya Sankochak Abhave. So thing is, as the Swami says, that Brahman, Bruhatva. So Brahman is big. Is unqualified big. If it's a big mountain, then the bigness is qualified. Or a big country, the bigness is qualified. But the big, unqualified big. So Bhuma means what? Great, abundant, unqualified abundance. So Sankochaka Bhave. Bhuman stands by itself, just Brahman stands by itself, which means unqualified, big. So also Bhuman when stands by itself means unqualified abundance. Ukta Parisheda Abhava Parivasanat. So ultimately, when there is no Sankochaka, nothing to restrict, nothing to condition that bigness, then it ultimately amounts to or culminates into what? That which is free from all limitations. Sakshat Shrutya cha iha tatha lakshanokte. Sakshat Shrutya cha. Shruti also says iha, here. Nanya Chhanoti, Nanya Dvijanati, Nanya Pashyati. Tatha lakshanokte. By lakshana. So what is the lakshana or bahoho? So bhuman. Iti sutram nakha nakshatradi shabdavat sadhutva anvakhyana param. So bahoho lopaha. That word baho results into the word bhuman. So to explain the word bhuma as derived from bahu is to help us to understand that bhuma means bahutvam or abundant. So the word bhuma means abundant is quite appropriate. Nakha nakshatradi shabdavat. Nakha means a nail, but nakha also means 20 apparently. Nakshatra means constellation, star, but also means 27. So these words are also used in Sankhya or denote numbers. So just as Nakha, Nakshatra, when used in the sense of 20, 27, etc. is quite appropriate, Shabdavat Sadhutva Anvakhyana Parama Drashtavyam. And therefore, that Bahoho Lopahi Sutram is meant to tell us that Bhuman means Bahu means it is infinite. That's all. So now going to Bhashya. Yatra Yasmin Bhumni Tattve Nanyata Drashtavyam Anyena Karanena Drashta Anyo Vibhaktaha Drishyat Pashyate Yatra Nanyat Pashyati. Yatra Na Anyat Pashyati. Yatra where Na Pashyati, one does not see, Anyat the other, where one does not see the other. So Yatra explained as Yasmin Bhumni, in which Bhuman. So in Bhuma, one does not see anything, one does not hear anything, one does not know anything. Bhumni Tattve, Tattva which is reality. So Bhuman which is reality in which Nanyat Pashyati. Anyat, one does not see the other. Meaning Anyat Drashtavyam. So Drashta, Drashtavya, you can say Drushya, Drashtavya and Darshanam. So in all our normal transactions, this triad or tripudi is always involved. Drashta, Drushya, Drashtavya and Darshanam. The seer, the seen and seeing. So all Vyavahara involves these three. So it involves Drashta, who is the Karta of the act of seeing. Drishyam or Darshanam, Drashtavyam, which is Karma. There is also Karana also. This Drashta, the witness, sees something with the help of the instrument of witnessing, which is eyes. That is Karanam. So Karta, Karma, Karanam, minimum these three are involved. results into phalam, which is darshanam. So karta, karma, karanam, phalam. Karta is drashta, the seer. Karma is object which is seen, drishyam or drashtavyam. Karanam is the means of seeing, in this case chakshu. And the result is what? Darshanam, which is called phalam. So in all transactions, these four are involved. Karta, karma, karanam, phalam. So I speak. The speaker, the word that is spoken, the means or instrument of speaking, and the phalam is the speech. So the four are involved in every transaction. So what Bhashyakara wants to mean is that, so anyat, so yatra anyah drashta, anyo drashta, anyat drashtavyam, anyena karanena, vibhakta na pashyati. So in this, all the four are different. The subject, the seer is one, the object, the seen is different, the eyes, the karanam also is different, and seeing, the phala also is different. All the four are distinct from each other. That is a normal transaction. This is what we call duality. So where this duality consisting of drashta, so vibhakta anyah drashta, a drashta or seer who is different from the seen and seeing, anyena karanena, a karanam such as eyes, which is again different from all these, all the three. All the four are different from each other. Anyat drashtavyam, the object drashtavyam, drishyat vibhaktaha na pashyati. So drashta is drishyat vibhaktaha. Drashta is someone who is separated from drishya. Drashta is one, drishya is another one, and darshan is third one, and this pramanam is the fourth one. Na pashyati. So this kind of a transaction, which involves this duality or multiplicity of the nature of karta, karma, karanam and phalam, where this transaction is not there, this is called bhuma. It's an interesting definition of bhuma. This is Bhashyakara, tatha nanyat shranoti. Similarly, yatra yasmin bhumni nanyat shranoti. That is bhuma in which a hearer does not hear something heard that is separate with the means of hearing, but that is also not there. That is bhuman. So the Tika says in line 30, they should add one na anyat pashyati vakyartha nishedhakanaya tadantargataha karma karana kartru kriyaha nishidhyante. So na anyat pashyati, when Shruti says one does not see the other, so na there applies to what? Naya tadantargataha. Normally na goes with the verb na pashyati. But here Tikakara says that nakara goes with what? Karta, karma, karanam also. And kriya. So karta, karma, karanam and kriya. Karta, seer. Karma, object seen. Karanam, the means of seeing, eyes. Kriya, seeing. Call it phalam or call it kriya. So tad antargataha, because when seeing is denied, the Tikakara says that the rest of the things are also there. Seeing is a kriya. So Kriya is denied in Bhuman. But Kriya can take place only when Karta, Karma and Karanam are there. Then only Kriya can take place, isn't it? Speaking can take place provided there is a speaker, there is a word that is spoken, and there is an instrument of speaking, then only speaking can take place, speech. So when the Shruti in fact negates or denies the existence of the Kriya or action such as seeing or hearing, this also includes a denial of all the other three factors. So Karma, Karana, Kartru, Kriyaha, all of these are negated. Kriya Matra Nishede, if you say that Kriya does not take place, seeing doesn't take place, but seer is there, seen is there, instead of seeing is there. Suppose all the three are there, only seeing is not there. Suppose. So if you take this expression literally, then Pashnanyat Pashyadi, one does not see the other. So only seeing is denied, na Pashyadi. But seer is not denied, seen is not denied, means of seeing is not denied, at least in words. So if you understand this as merely the denial of Kriya of seeing, then Kriya Matra Nishede Bhumna Alpatva. Then what is Bhuman? Bhuman is where there is the seer, Karta is there, Karma is there, Karanam is there, that is Bhuman, only Kriya is not there. Alpatva Pattehe. So Karta is always limited, Karma also is limited, Karanam also is limited, then Bhuman will be limited. So Alpatva Pattehe Tyaha. So Vasyaga Yatra Yasmin Bhumni Tattve Nanyat, etc. One does not say. Well, the Tikakara gives a slightly different reading. Dvitiya Darshanasya Sarvatmana Nishede Pratyakshvirodhamasangya Uktam. Dvitiya Darshanasya Sarvatmana Nishede. If in every way you deny or negate the seeing of the other, then the wise person who abides the knowledge of Bhuman or Brahman as a self, does he not see? Does he not hear? He knows I am Bhuma, I am Brahman. Does he not see? Does he not hear? Pratyaksha virodhamashankya. So we find that the wise people also, so Pashyan, Shrunvan, Sprishan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Swapan, Shwasan, Pralapan, Visrajan, Grundan, Gunmishan, Nimishan, all these kriyas that are going on. So this Tikakara reads like Tatvena Anyad Drashtavyam Anyena Karanena Drashta Anyo Vivakta Na Drashyad Na Pashyadi. One Nakara must be added then. So Tatvena Na Pashyadi. So wise person sees, but then he does not give reality. What is seen is not seen as different from himself. Tatvena na pashyati. So he sees, so naiva kinchit karometi yukto manyeta tattvavik. So none of the tattva, Bhuman says, naiva kinchit karometi, I do not do anything. Pashyan. See, Pashyan is while seeing, Pashyan, neva kinchit karami. While seeing, he says, I don't see. Shrunan, by hearing, he says, I don't hear. So, from the standpoint of onlookers, he is seeing and hearing. From his own standpoint, he does not look upon himself as seer, hearer, karmanya karmayah pashyet, akarmanya karmayah. So, for the wise person, even in Vyavahara also, even the Vyavahara of seeing, hearing goes on, in reality, he does not give any reality to the duality of the Karta, Karma, Karanam, Kriya. Yasmin Savarani Bhutani Atmaiva Bhut Vijanatah tatra ko moha kasyoka ekatvam anupashyatah. Sarvani bhutani, where all beings have become one. What all beings? With the drashta, drishya, drashti, chakshu, all of these have become one. Meaning that the wise person sees the drashta also as manifestation of consciousness. Drishya also is manifestation of consciousness. Meaning that he never loses sight of consciousness while performing any vyavahara. He is always aware of the consciousness, which is self-effulgent anyway. So once we recognize consciousness is always shining, we don't see it, that's all. Because our attention is preoccupied with other things. With drishyam and all this karma, kriya, karanam, karta, that is given reality. Therefore, the underlying foundation, the adhishthana, substrate, which is consciousness. Because karta cannot be apart from consciousness, karma also, the existence of nothing can be established unless you are conscious of it. That I am a speaker, there is an awareness, only when there is awareness, then only the speaker is there, meaning the having existence speaker is established. Only when there is awareness of speaker. That you, the object, is there, that is established when there is awareness of object. Instrument of seeing is there when there is awareness. So even though in all our transactions awareness is very much involved and pervaded, because we give reality to drashta, drishya, darshanam, etc., therefore the underlying awareness is lost sight of. We lose sight of the underlying awareness. As Viditatmananda Upanishad says that when a drum is being, beaten up, then really different kinds of ragas or different kinds of rhythms from that. But even from a distance also, it's a drum, it's a dholak, So in Navaratri, so different way, different kind of rhythms may be there. But that is dholak, that is recognized. That is a drum, it is recognized. Because without that samanya sound, the vishesha, all the rhythms are vishesha or the particular expressions. The universal sound of the drum is always there. So the drashta, drishya, darshan, all the particulars. The particular cannot exist without the universal. Ornament which is particular cannot exist without gold. Similarly, all the ornaments. Drashta also is the ornament, drishya also is the ornament, darshan also is the ornament. What's the goal? Consciousness is the goal, of which they are all made. So wise person does not lose sight of that. Just as a goldsmith sees the bangle, but basically he sees it as gold. Similarly also the wise person sees drashta, drishya, etc. Basically he sees them as consciousness, as a self, as Bhuman. So tattvena na pashyati. Even though wise person also may be hearing and seeing, but tattvena yukto manyeta tattvavit, the knower of the truth does not give reality to that. That's what vyavahara. In vyavahara, the wise person does not give reality to the duality. So then Tikakara says, Drishyat pashyati nakar abhave, abhava pathai bhumni tattvedi chhedah. So if it is na pashyati, then tattvena. Pashyati, then tattve, na anyat. That's how the part. Because one nakara must be there. And therefore, if na pashyati is not there, then tattve nanyat drashtavyam, etc. Then Annagiri says in line number 18, Kimidi sparshanadishu abhisatsu darshana shravanayoho eva nished. So, nanyat shranoti iti sabhuma iti sambandha. So, tatha nanyat shranoti. Similarly, one does not hear. Sabhuma, that is bhuma. Iti sambandha. So, nanyat pashyati, nanyat shranoti. Where one does not see anything else, where one does not see anything, here does not anything. So seeing and hearing are negated here. So this kimiti, sparshanadishopi satsu, but other organs also are there. Of the 5 organs of perception, only 2 are denied here, seeing and hearing. What about touching, tasting, smelling? They are also there. Darshana Shravanayoeva Nishidjatvenatra Grahanam Kimiti. Why does Shruti only mention why does it only negate the Darshanam and Shravanam, seeing and hearing? How come Shruti does not also negate the touching and tasting and smelling? Why is it so? Iti Ashankya, raising this doubt, Bhashyakara answers that doubt. Namayati. Or if you go to the next page and see the Tika in the line 26, Sakshat Vakyartha Anantargatatvepi Karanasya Tena Vina Kriya Anupapattehe Arthat Tad antargati astyevayati tad nishedopi uktaha. So only kriya is denied. Sakshat vakyata anantargatatvepi. Vakya is nanyat shranoti. In that there is no denials, the overt denial of the karanam or the means of seeing. Tena vina kriya anupatte. Without karanam, kriya cannot take place. Without eye, seeing cannot take place. So when seeing is denied, presence of seeing is denied, presence of eyes are also denied. Tarthat tadantargati asti eva. So it follows naturally that there is no instrument of seeing also. And so no seer also and no object of seeing also. Then the Tikakara continues, Nanu, Nanya Jigrati Ityadi Kuto na Uktaha. When one does not smell, why is it not said? Then we say it's understood, you know. Nacha Nanyat Pashri Ityadina Tad Upalakshyalamid Vachyam. We say that 2 are mentioned. Does not see, does not hear. So others also should be understood. Does not smell, does not taste, does not touch, understood. Don't say that, he says. Then why do you say, why do you even use 2? Nanyat pashyati, nanyat shranoti. Does not see, does not hear. Say does not see, then everything else is included. Why do you mention 2? If you want to imply that rest of the sense perception also is negated, then you need to have mentioned only 1, Nanyat Pachyati. Then Nanyat Shranoti also is not necessary. But why do you write Nanyat Shranoti and then say these 2 imply the rest of them? 1 could also imply. Tasha Nam Rupa Bhashyakara says in the previous page. In the line number 8. नाम रूपयोः एव अंतर्भावात् विषयभेदस्य तद्ग्राहकयोः एव इह दर्शनश्रवणयोः ग्रहणम् अन्येषां च upalakshanarthatvena. So dhamma-rupayo antarbhavat vishaya-bhedasya. All duality is included in name and form. So drishya, the object, also is name and form. Drishta, the subject, also is name and form. The karanam, the eye, is also a name and form. Even kriya also is name and form. So everything is included in nama-rupa. So nama-rupayo antarbhavat vishaya-bhedasya. So nama-rupayoho, which vibhakti is that? So vishaya-bhedasya, the entire host of this variety of the objects, antarbhavat, they are included in nama, in name and form they are included. So when you mention name and form, everything becomes mentioned, because name and form include everything. There is a drashta also is name and form, drishya also is name and form. Tad grahakayoho eva yad darshana shravanayoho. Therefore, Shruti makes it a point to mention the two organs of perception which are involved in perceiving name and form. So darshana and shravana. The shravana means hearing the name. Darshana, seeing the form. With eyes, you see the form. With ears, you hear the name. So these two mean organs of perception. They perceive the name and form, which includes the entire universe. Therefore, tayoeva eva grahanam. Therefore, darshana shravanayoho. Darshanam and shravanam are specifically mentioned. Anyesham cha upalakshanarthatvena. Meaning that thereby implying that rest of the sense organs or sense perceptions also are implied, are also included. These two represent the rest of the sense organs. Sri Ranagiri, Anuktanam Sparshadinam Upalakshanarthatvena atra dvayoho grahanam. Sparshanam etc. which are not specifically mentioned, Anuktanam. Upalakshanarthatvena, to include what is not specifically mentioned. Atra dvayoho grahanam, here these two are specifically mentioned. Sparshanadi avishattasyapi bhumni bhavad. How do you say that these two include rest? How do you say that? How do you say that Shruti means that these two, the absence of darshanam and shravana also implies absence of sparshanam and rasanam, etc. So how do you say that they are included? Because sparshanadi avishattasyapi bhumni bhavat. So bhuman is limitless, is non-dual, therefore touching other, tasting other, smelling other also cannot be. Therefore we say that there is not only absence of seeing and hearing, absence of rest of the sense perception also. So therefore, anyesham cha upalakshanarthatvena. Then go to the next page. The Tikakara says in the line 28, Bahyendra vyaparana darshanadina antarasya mananasya upalakshanam anusitam. Now, thing is that all these are Bhashyendriyani, seeing, hearing. So, rest of the external organs, touch, taste, smell can be included. But there is another organ, which is the mind. So, therefore, that you cannot include. Bhashyendra vyaparana darshanadina antarasya mananasya upalakshanam anusitam. Anyatha vijnanasyapi tathatva sambhavena. So see, Shruti says nanyat vijanati, he does not know anything. Now Vijnanam is the function of the inner organ. Seeing and hearing are the functions of external organs. Whereas knowing is the function of the inner organ, the mind. So there also Shruti specifically denies the existence of the function of inner organ. So Vijnanam, knowing, is denied. Then Bhashyakara says, let us read the next sentence. Mananam cha atra uktam drashtavyam nanyan manute iti. Mananam cha atra uktam drashtavyam nanyan vijanati. When Shruti says one does not know the other, meaning one does not also think of the other. Mananam also is included. So nanyat manute iti, nanyat shruno pashyati, nanyat shrunoti, nanyat vijanati, nanyat sparshati, etc. And nanyat manute also iti. Tatra hetumaha. So atra iti lakshana vakyokti, mananti atra uktam. Atra means in this particular vakya, nanyat pashyati, nanyat shrunoti. Tatra hetumaha. So what's the reason why Mananam also is included here? Shruti specifically mentions Vijnanam and knowing. There is no knowing there. But how do you say that? That also means that there is no thinking there, or no reflection, Mananam, no deliberation. So Prayasha Bhashyakara said, Prayasha Manana Purvakatvat Vijnanasya. Because knowledge always, generally, knowledge is preceded by deliberation, reflection and deliberation. So when you come to know, even when I remember, when you were solving your simple problems of algebra, etc., in our schools, then also it required some reflection. The solution did not come right away. You had to reflect upon it, deliberate upon it. And then the solution came. So a square minus b square is this, and a square plus whatever, So then and then further more complicated. It requires reflection. Then only you arrive at the answer. It is possible that right away you will come up with an answer. In some cases, generally, in most cases, mananam or deliberation always required before you come to the answer, before you come to knowledge. Just as when the apple fell, it must have taken a lot of deliberation on the part of Newton to arrive at the knowledge that this is due to the force of gravity. For anything like that. So, prayasya manapurvakatvat vijnanasya. And Shruti also always says drashtavya, shrutavya, mantavya, vijijñāsitavya, vididhyāsitavya. So there also Vijnanam always is preceded by Mananam. Therefore, Vijnanam cannot take place unless Mananam is there. So when there is denial of Vijnanam, we should understand that there is denial of Mananam. So going now to the Tika. Bhākyendriya vyāpārine darshanādina antarasya manasya upalakshanam anusitam. So Bhāshyakara mananam chatra uktam drashtavyam. So you cannot say that Shruti means to negate mananam, which is antarindriya vyāpāra, which is the activity of the mind. So Shruti has only negated activities of external sense organs. So you cannot say that also stands for the absence of activity of the mind. Otherwise, why should you mention vijana? That also is included. That is also activity of the mind. So why don't you imply both of them? Anyatha vijnanasyapi tathata sambhavena prutagrahanam na syat. Then vijnana or knowing also is the activity of the inner organ. So if the denial of activity of external organs implies denial of activity of inner organ, then why does Shruti mention one, na vijanati? Then it means only one, na vijanati or na manute. If you imply na manute, you could have implied na vijanati also. Ida viparitya adhyaharyam aha. Therefore, mananam cha atra uktam drashtavyam. Bhashyakara says, mananam also should be understood as included here. Tari tasya grahanameva mahabhut. Oh, why do you want to bring in mananam in there? See, in case of external organs, the touching, tasting, smelling, all of these are also the activities of sense organs, so this is alright. But Vijnanam is denied. Why do you want to say Mananam also is denied? Let Mananam take place, not there. Vijnanam is not there. So no, Prayashaha Mananapurvakatva Vijnanam, because Vijnanam is generally preceded by Mananam or reflection or deliberation. Say the Tika, Shrutishu Prayana Manapurvakatva Darshanat Vijnana Setyarthaha. So, Mantavya, Nididhyasatavya. So, usually we find in Shruti that Vijnanam is preceded by Mananam. Therefore, going back to Anandagiri, Yasmin adhikarane, yatra means what? Yatra nanyat pashyati, nanyat shrunoti, nanyat vijanati, sabhuma. So yatra means what? Yasmin adhikarane, in that location. So yatra is, seventh case, is location. It can be time also, it can be something else also, but here it is location. Locative, the locative case, adhikarana saptami. Then, na pashyati tattva vicharanaya. Only when you know, when you deliberate upon tattva of the reality, then anya anyam na pashyati. So even when the wise person is seeing tattva vicharanaya, because he deliberates upon tattvam, therefore, even though seeing, he is not seeing. Without tattva vicharana, seeing is taken as real. For every ordinary person, the seer, seen, seeing, all taken as real. Tattva vicharana. When you realize that the seer, seen, seeing are the three waves emerging from same water. Similarly, from the ocean of consciousness, the waves of seer, seen, seeing are all emerging. That way, you see Tattvam, you see the essence of the truth of what is seer. You don't stop at taking seer or drashta as drashta. What is the truth of drashta? Drishti is the truth of drashta. What is the truth of drashya? Again drishti. Darshanam, again drishti. So consciousness is the truth of drashta, drishti, darshanam, drishya. So when vicharana is carried out, as we said earlier, because there is always consciousness involved in every transaction and nothing can exist apart from consciousness. So consciousness is always involved in every perception. When two things go together, those two things cannot be two, they are one. Therefore, consciousness is involved in every transaction. Therefore, nothing is apart from consciousness. Therefore, all there is consciousness. Anyaha anyam na pashyati. Then only one does not look upon oneself as drashta. Moment you look upon yourself as drashta, automatically drishya becomes different from you and you become different from drishya. But anya anyam, I don't look upon myself, anya and drishya is anyam. Anya anyam na pashyati. The anyonya, one and the other, that distinction is not there. In truth, in consciousness, they are not there. The superficial level, the drashta, drushya, they are all different from each other. By the basic level of consciousness, they are not. The waves may think that they are different from each other, but at the level of water, there is no duality. Anya anyam na pashyati, na shrunoti, na manute, na vijanati, sa bhumayate. Drashtu drushyadi vikalpa nishedena. So Shruti has in fact negated the drashtu drushyadi vikalpa. This vikalpa, this duality of the seer seen. Kalpana or the projection of the seer seen, vikalpa. Vividha kalpa. So variety of projection of the seer, seen, seeing, etc. All of this is negated by Shruti, nishedena. Then it reduces to what? To substratum. Adhyasa adhikaranatva upalakshitasya. So what is yatra? Yatra is adhishthanam. Adhyasa adhikarana. So drashta, drushya, darshanam is adhyasa. Superimposition upon one consciousness. So when superimposition is negated, then what cannot be negated is adhikara and adhisthana, understand? What cannot be negated is adhisthana. Therefore, adhyasa adhikaranatva upalakshitasya vikalpa avishatvam eva. So interesting thing here is that in the specific words, Shruti denies only the presence of seeing, hearing, knowing, etc. But by implication, Shruti means that truth is there where the seer, seeing, and hearer, hearing, hearing. These all vikalpas are not there. So vikalpa avishatvam eva lakshitam. That bhuma is where one does not see means what? Bhuma is that which is free from all vikalpa, all the kalpana of the seer, seen, seeing. So all these are denied, and what is meant there is adhisthana. Bhuma is adhisthana. It is substratum upon which the projections of the seer, seen, hearer, hearing, heard, all this take place. So by denying hearing, etc., Shruti says there are projections. So only mithya can be denied, satyam cannot be negated, understand? So yatra nanyat pashyati, so seeing is denied. So what is denied must be unreal, otherwise it cannot be denied. So at denying what is mithya, what is implied is satyam. That bhuma is the substratum of all these projections or superimposition. Vikalpa avishatvam eva bhumna or bhuma lakshanam iti. So real characters of bhuma is vikalpa avishatvam, which is not the object of any projection, which is devoid of all projections, substratum of all projections, where all projections are negated. So what I got to say? Evam lakshano yaha sabhuma. Yeah, evam lakshana. The one who has this characteristic, which is devoid of all the vikalpa, devoid of all the superimpositions, which is because what happens is superimposition, thank God, does not in any way affect the substratum. The snake is superimposed, does not in any way affect the rope. So also here, the drashta, drushya, darshanam, all of these are superimposed upon bhuma. But they do not in any way affect bhuma. Just as a snake does not affect the rope, all these also do not affect bhuma. Evam lakshanoyah Sabhuma. So that is Bhuma, which is the substratum of all superimpositions. Then Bhashyakara takes up a discussion. Because this Vakya can be and has been interpreted in different ways. See, Upanishad Vakya are the same. Everybody sees the validation of their own views. So this Vakya can be interpreted as Vakya implying Dvaita also and Vishishta-Dvaita and everything. Same Vakya is there. It's amazing how from a Vakya like this, you can arrive at the conclusion that this is talking about duality. That Bhuman is different from the self. Yeah, it can say Bhuman is like this, but self is not like this. Ishvara is like that, Jiva is not like that. So, different interpretations are given of this. Therefore, Bhashyakara undertakes here a rather lengthy discussion of the proper interpretation of the statement. Will continue tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.